Well, thank you so much. I'm actually calling from Banjalan country, which is the northern rivers of the New South Wales area. And then I, of course, start by acknowledging the country that I'm on and this beautiful land, very wet at the moment, and all the people who have taken care of this beauty so that I can enjoy it now and continue caring for as much as I can. Wow, what an amazing collection of sharings. And I decided not to prepare a talk as such, but just ideas. And so I am weaving with the ideas that have been shared. And one that I would like to start with is this idea that Sam, I think, mentioned about this planet, this Earth being so fragile. And when I heard that word, something inside me was like, no, she's not. And so that brings me into what I wanted to share that I recently got excited about, talking to a friend. And again, this connects as well with what Rudenda just shared about the roots of words. And I didn't know, and maybe, I don't know if you're going to be excited as much as I was, but tree and truth share the same Indo-European root of deru, which means firm, solid, steadfast, reliable. I work with plants, and for me, trees in particular are such a good representation of this solidity, steadfastness, and reliability that is the Earth, that is this planet. So that's why when I heard, oh, she's fragile, I thought like, not really. We are the ones that are fragile because we have got very unstable and not so firm roots when we are behaving as we are doing in our planets at the moment. Then there is another word that is connected to these two, and it shares the same root. And this is trust. So tree, truth, trust are actually one and the same, which again, I thought like this semantic bundle, it's amazing. And also I wonder how it can help us to, in a playful way, how it can help us to rethink and transform our beingness here in the world with this planet. So I'm a scientist. And of course, according to the scientific establishment, I shouldn't even waste my time pondering about these things. But it's important because, of course, science, at least modern science, is the instrument that we still use as a way of finding truth, or appreciating truth, or discovering truth, as we often say. And but the problem with the truth that science is finding at the moment, and the way in which it's been built, is that there is an internal paradox. And this has guided a lot of my recent research and forced me to face the paradox and see what would happen to science and the making of science as you do that. And the paradox is that there is this deep, or the deepest, I would say, principle of the scientific observation, which is objectivity and separation between the observed and the observer. And the observer, of course, is the scientist most of the time. And there is this assumption that there is this external reality. So suddenly, my roots as the scientist or the human, and the roots they are holding, the tree maybe that I'm looking at, are two very different roots. We are separate. We're two different things. And of course, the major paradox here is that the creation of this perspective is actually on false ground, because objectivity is not possible. For as much as we love to think of it, objectivity is an impossibility, because all human perception, every observation, every description that we make, even as scientists, is ultimately about human perception, which is totally subjective. So this paradox suddenly puts a little bit of doubt, I guess, on the kind of truth that emerges from our observation and our descriptions that we call scientific, but and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, can this truth really be trusted? And I'm not anti-science here. I'm just asking whether we can trust the truth that comes out when we are looking at a tree and we look at it as if the roots are something different than what they are. And if we are taking the truth that science is producing at the moment, according to this internal paradox that often is refusing to address or to acknowledge, well, we are, the truth that is constructed via our technological, I would say, entrancement and confinement. And of course, this places our mind in a very narrow confinement, probably the narrowest that we have had since consciousness has emerged as a human. I mean, we've just seen our indigenous knowledge and indigenous approaches are so open and in somehow have provided us a very clear sense of our place in the world, in a much wider universe than what we are inhabiting at the moment as a techno-scientific society. And so it's, our truth, our current truth, according to the Western scientific paradigm, produces a limitation to our capacity to know who we are and therefore know how to deal with the changes. And I like to refer to Thomas Berry, where in The Dream of the Earth, which is an amazing book, it should be studied and should be shared and should be known by everyone, because it was written already a while ago. But he's talking about, amongst many other things, he's talking about the problems that we are facing at the moment are earth problems. It's a earth problem, not a human problem. We're not in the Anthropocene, in the sense that that already separates us again from the earth. Instead, it's a earth problem, and being a earth problem is everybody's problem, including us. And so it really shifts our storytelling from a fragile earth that needs us to protect her, not the case, to a fragile species which needs to remember what's its place in this universe. We have known for most of our time. So this is almost like we've just fallen asleep for a little while, maybe the last couple of centuries. And that's no big deal. It's like, okay, so time to wake up. I put my alarm on and off we go. And so then we are maybe finding new truth in a new trust in our being here. And I think for me, what I've learned through my own work is that by having trust into all of the others, humans and non-humans, and particularly non-humans, we can find truths that are quite shocking in a good way, shocking us awake. And this is, I think, really at the bottom line to me is what we need. I loved everything that was shared up to this point, and fundamentally I agree with everything, but ultimately I just think like it's really actually not a big deal. The earth knows exactly what she's doing. She is the great mother that is got firm steadfastness, reliable strength, and we are made of her. We are not nothing else than her. So the earth problem is not a problem. It's just an alarm that needs to go off. And I think the alarm bell has already gone off. And a lot of people are waking up to the fact that, we need to behave differently, need to be here differently. And so the renaissance that Sam was mentioning, the story that is like, we're going to write it, we are already writing it. We wouldn't be here. I remember having conversation with Susan a few years back, and we were like, how do we do this? How are we going to do this? This is not that long ago, Susan, and look at us. This is amazing. So, yeah, I think I don't really have anything else to say, because everything else that I would say would be just like repeating on the theme. To me, it seems very simple, and we all have so many amazing and different skills that it's really no-brainer. By the time that we inspire each other to just be exactly what the earth made us to be, we're laughing. We're laughing. So I'm really just so grateful that I was invited, and I'm grateful that my alarm went on, and I could wake up and be here. And yeah, I'm gonna just leave the space so that there is more space for sharing exactly who we are. So thank you.